Hello, hello.
This voice.
This is my podcast voice. It also smells a bit like onion.
Yeah.
The onion mic.
Welcome to Unfiltered with Silvia, the podcast from Nine Coliving. Dive into the nomad life and explore Tenerife. Connect with our amazing community and enjoy the local island vibe. Expect honest conversations and unexpected questions. Stay curious, stay unfiltered. Hola! It's me again, and this time with Sarah, Johannes, and the spatula.
The onion mic.
The onion mic. Because this is a non-podcast, Silvia, so yeah, whatever. We have Sarah, maybe you know her, but she's a yoga teacher from the UK. Well, from the UK, Spanish now. Spanish. Sure. And Johannes from Germany, living on the island.
Resident, yes.
Resident, half Canarian, half German. Co-founder of Litzy, helping agencies to grow.
Yes, exactly.
And both have lived and traveled a lot around the world. And now you are settled on the island since a few years ago. And both love sport and traveling, among other things, right? Yeah, I'm doing my job. Eh? Fun facts about the two of them. They both lived at Nine for some months. You spent first the lockdown here. I remember you came a few days right before the lockdown, right, to meet her because you were in Asia, or?
I came exactly one day before the lockdown, yes.
Yeah.
So we had one last dinner in La Otava in a tapas place, and the next day everything was closed for, I don't know, 3 months or something.
And the thing you knew the most was Mercadona, no?
Mercadona, Alteza y Berdino, yeah.
Yeah, and then a few years later, then you came to Nine a few times more. You were working here, cooking, doing yoga, making us happy. And then you decided to get married at Nine. It was the first and maybe the last one wedding here. Super special, right? Bueno, that's Johannes and Sarah. If you want to know more, you can find out. How did we meet, guys? Let's talk about this.
I remember the first time we met, actually. It was on the boat, remember, after the lockdown.
On the boat? On the boat.
Yeah, and Anna was thinking about having you as a host here at Nine, and she was like, I'm going to invite my friend to the boat and see. Yeah. And then you came on the boat, right? Oh, this really does smell like onion. Yeah, and that was the first time I met you that day. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I was super stressed because most of you were either English or Americans, and I didn't really understand nothing. And I was like, yes, because I wanted to be super nice because Anna was doing this interview to me.
Interview on a boat, watching dolphins. What an interview,
yeah. Huh? And then we did but were you here too?
He didn't join the boat. I think you had to work that day or something. But yeah, it was an amazing day. But yeah, it was so cool, and we saw so many dolphins, didn't we? Because of the lockdown.
That's how we met.
That's how we met. But I don't know, when did you first see this lady?
I don't remember exactly the first time. I'm sorry, Silvia. I maybe shouldn't say that. But I give you a fun one though, because the first time I was doing yoga somewhere around you were like, oh yeah, I know, you were the yoga teacher at Nine.
True.
So somehow, in the beginning when Silvia first met me, she thought I was the yoga teacher at Nine.
True.
And then later on I did it again, and I was like, no, I definitely am not, because I'm really not that good at yoga. I was saved as a yoga teacher.
Who was it? No, yeah, I know you were there. But there was this girl when the lockdown happened. She lived in Mallorca, I think. And she was the guy.
Gene, yeah. Gene could have been...
Is he German?
The guy? No, he's American.
Is he blonde? Maybe.
No, she's bald.
I don't know.
Not really sure what his hair color is.
maybe, yeah, I was confused. I met many people. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Bueno, but... Uy, mierda. Vale. Life things. Bueno, perfecto. Do you have a gift?
Yeah,
we have a gift.
The tradition here. If you want to follow the traditions,
Okay.
I think you might have to explain this.
Yeah, you have to explain
This
for the
is
for the people.
a worry doll. So basically, you keep it with you, and you put all your worries on the doll, and then all your worries, she takes care of them, and you don't have to think about them because the doll looks after them. And it's like a really nice initiative. It's made by women in Bangladesh, like giving them economic empowerment and stuff. So it's doing something good for the world, and it's looking after you and your worries.
Well done.
As well.
I don't know if this is good for the mic, but well done, guys. It's a really good gift with a good meaning, eh? I really like it. I'm gonna put it. I can put it with my key.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can always, when you have a worry, hold the doll, tell the doll your worry, and she takes it for you.
Let's see. If
It's easy.
Easy. Well, it's. I don't know if you can see it.
We'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah, exactly. The link here. Yeah, we are very Instagrammer, not influencer. Like I do this thing like. For example, if you want to see where he works, here is the link. Let's see. All of this I do it.
Put these links in after.
So let's go through the interview. As I told you, a few questions and then the rapid fires. Guys, for you two, you started your nomad life together, right? Can we explain a little bit how you started, why, when? Like just to situar. Like,
Yeah, sure. So actually, it's funny that you said that you thought Johannes was going to be the yoga teacher here at Nine, because we actually started our nomad life with the intention that Johannes was going to be a surf teacher.
A surf teacher?
You
look in the outfit.
Sorry, why is that funny? I don't know.
In Nicaragua. But yeah.
The outfit of a surfer. No?
So basically, we both lived in London together, and we both were like, we're over this, like, normal life, whatever. We want to nomad a bit. And I really wanted to teach yoga, and I found this job for a couple at a surf and yoga place in Nicaragua, where I would teach yoga, and they were like, I talked to them a bit, and they were like, yeah, and also we'd need your partner to teach surfing lessons. And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And we told them, like, yeah, he's not, like, very good at surfing or whatever. And they're like, yeah, it's fine, don't worry. Just,
really?
It'll be
so
fine.
You were at least, fair,
Yeah. He wasn't like, I'm a pro or anything. He was like, I've surfed like 20 times in my life. I'm not great. But anyway, yeah, so that was how we initially came to how we were going to start our nomad journey.
Which year was it?
In 2018. So 6 years ago, yeah.
We had a slide now.
So it's better than I do.
Yeah, and then that was what we were going to do, and we were going to work a bit remotely, work at that place. We found a one-way ticket to Cuba, and we were just like, let's just book it and have that the date that we start.
And from that day, you were traveling?
Well, basically, yeah, we set off to go, and then when we were in Cuba, we found out that there was a revolution in Nicaragua, and we couldn't go there, and we couldn't do the job, so we had to like re-plan a bit and decide what we were going to do. But
was it hard to start, or you were like?
I think setting that date, like, and booking the flight was like, okay, I think we booked it maybe 6 months before or something, and then we were like, okay, we've got that time to get rid of all our stuff, to make sure we have some way to make online income by then. I was teaching English to kids online, which was hilarious. No, not now. No, I haven't done it for years. But yeah, when I was at Nine. Yeah.
Because you still have this at Nine, yes.
Yeah.
You still have the.
Yeah. That's true. But
I know.
Yeah, so that was how we started basically, and then I also had the intention to teach yoga like at different places along the way, and it was also a cool way to meet people as well.
Then you were working already, like, on the laptop?
Actually, I was working in a kind of normal job in a startup in London, and I just, because we made this plan, I slowly started to contact people who, if they're looking for freelancer for marketing help, and so by the time we set out, I already had, I think, 2 clients doing some online marketing for, and that was also enough, because obviously Central and South America are really quite cheap, so especially back in the day. Maybe now it's a bit different, but now, I mean, it's still easy easier to live there than in London for sure.
So you follow Crazy Sarah in this adventure, right?
It was, I think it was really both of us who wanted this. We saw these stories about digital nomads and we were like, wow, we want to do that. And I think many people maybe say that and then many don't do it, but we just were like, yeah,
you did it. You
let's
were
do
one
it.
of the first ones, I think.
Yeah.
Amazing. Bueno, second question, you can keep the mic and then you... The question is about couples in co-livings because many people want to know how do you really balance love lifestyle. Do you think it's hard to manage to find your own time for your partner, time for the community? How is it for you? Because not for everyone works, but yeah.
Should I start?
If you want, if you don't want, you pass the mic.
No, so for us it was really great because so actually when we were traveling in Central South America, we'd never stayed in a co-living. It wasn't really a thing. I'm sure there are some now, but it wasn't really a thing back then. We did a few volunteering things and projects, and we stayed at some hostels even sometimes. So we met other people, and that's always what we were trying to do. So it was very important for us. Yeah, we were perfectly fine together as well, but we wanted to have a bit of a balance, right? Like maybe 2 weeks we would stay in a cabin somewhere, just the two of us, and then we were like, well, let's try to find some community and some people. And so for us, that really combined it. And then coming into the co-living, I think it was great. Like,
and if you have an argument or a bad day, if Johannes it's that day like too complicated, what do you do? You forget when.
To be honest, like I don't really remember us having any arguments when we were at the co-living. Like, no? I don't know. We're not really fighting, are we? Like. No.
Well, do you express it to other people like this guy?
No, I never talk shit on it. I don't know. Like I think we definitely made time. Like so obviously during the lockdown it was very different because like we couldn't leave the house. But like when we lived here after the lockdown, we lived here for like 3 or 4 months, and I was teaching yoga again. We definitely like made time, I think, to do stuff just the two of us outside of the co-living, and then the rest of the time was like we were together with the people and socializing.
You make it look like easy, not because maybe you're easygoing, but I don't know.
But yeah, like we're both very social people and like love being around other people.
Yeah. So. Otherwise, being in a co-living is not the best.
Vibe for you if you don't like people, is it?
I love it. I love when you're switching the spatula. No, the onion.
The onion. I think one important thing is you have to be okay with not having FOMO or the joy of missing out, and that applies if you're by yourself or a couple too, right? Like you will, if you want to take some time for yourself or for the two of you, then you just need to say, okay, it's okay that I'm not doing this hike or this party or there's always something going on, right? So I think you have to be able to manage that, just be okay with not being part of everything. But I think for us, that's really important to take just some time for yourself.
Yeah, and I think this is very good. Like, this connects very well with my next question, because my next question is about how do you think you will combine your current life with the new, with the coming soon, the baby. I don't know if you noticed, but Sarah is super pregnant. Because you will have to be okay with also missing out some things. I have to say before you reply to this question, like, some people, because to all the listeners, many people say like when you have a kid, your life is over. I don't think that's true. I think your life, of course, will change. But you will have to do adjustments because I have a kid, and I don't think my life is over. But I think it's not over. But of course, I have to change some things. I have to accept that some things I cannot do it now, or I don't feel like doing it right now because it's not my what I feel. But yeah, I don't think that's the idea of having a baby. You just have to adjust it a little bit. How do you think you will experience this, or are you excited? Because also it's very good, like some people of our age and digital nomads maybe are planning to have a baby, but they are afraid of. And
actually start this time.
What do you want to say to the listeners who will say, "Oh, Sarah and Johannes"?
To be honest, like I haven't really thought that it's gonna. No, we've thought about it and obviously talked about it at length. But like, I think that it's not gonna. affect our life too much. Like, I'm not the one to be like, oh, I can't go here and do this because like I can't take the baby, like whatever, I'm just going to bring her everywhere with me. And same with traveling, like we still have some travel plans for next year. She can come too, and it's actually easier when they're tiny, right, than when they're bigger.
No, I have a friend who's now in the States. Sorry for interrupting you, but the baby is not even a year old. And he really likes traveling. He was born here. He's still living here, but he really likes traveling, and he travels a lot, I think. And now he's with his wife in the States for a month with the baby, and they of course change a little bit the rhythm of the travel, no? Because you have to make it maybe slower, or sometimes you are like,
yeah, exactly. Like definitely, I think partying and this kind of side of life is slowed down a lot compared to maybe when we first were nomading and we liked to party a lot. But now obviously we've accepted that like this is a new stage of our lives and it's slower, and I think neither of us have like fear of missing out. Like we both just like doing our own thing as well whenever,
I'm very
like
proud.
yeah, so I don't have any kind of worries about how my life's going to change from having a baby. Can't wait.
And also, I mean, you said some people say life is over. Like you definitely know, and you know that. I mean, I don't know this yet, but there's a lot of joy with having a child, right? So there's obviously lots of stress, right? But there's a reason that you want to spend time with your kid or with your kids, right? So sometimes parents always make it. Maybe it's like they want to be cool and want to sound like they would really love to party, but they actually can't. But maybe they also just enjoy spending time with the children, you know. And I think there's a lot of joy and a lot of life literally in there.
I really enjoy it right now. She's almost 2 years, and she every day I stress, and I'm super happy when she says this morning she took a tissue and she was pretending she was showering, so she was el sobaco. I don't know how you say this. El otro sobaco. Here. I don't know, or when she wants to cycle, whatever. So it's super fun. Yeah. And it's different, but if you want to have it, people like to complain a lot. It's a new chapter, and that's the thing, to keep, like, to move forward, right? Well, thank you. Don't complain, eh? Bueno, last question for the two of you. Do you, I don't know how to say this word, consistently, how do you say this? Consistently. Practice sports when you travel, like, do you keep practicing cycling, yoga? Do you try to keep certain habits related to a sport when you travel, or do you stop practicing sports when you travel?
So we have to maybe say, for those who don't know us, we actually live here now pretty like most of the year. So we still travel quite a bit, but we're here probably like, I don't know, 8 months of the year maybe. Something like that. And then obviously let's see how that changes.
I think you a bit less. You travel more than Sarah, I think.
Yeah. So when we travel, we definitely try to stay active. So we have a very active lifestyle. I just played tennis literally an hour ago, cycling, gym, and then Sarah she can talk for herself in a minute. But I think, I personally try to keep up some of that exercise with Sarah or just by myself. So whether that's cycling or even tennis or whatever is possible. I mean, as much as I can, because I want to keep this rhythm and this routine as much as I can.
Yeah, I think it's definitely harder when you're traveling, especially if you're moving like quite a lot, to keep like a regular routine. Like with my yoga, for example, if I didn't have like a regular place to practice and do it by myself, it would be like this. I'd do it loads and then like no, and like this. So that's actually one thing I would say is really cool about staying most of the time in one place, having consistency and a bit of routine, because before we were just like a bit chaotic and didn't really have any routine.
When you were like just nomads, you tried to keep this habit.
We tried, but we definitely like have improved like all of the things that we do from being able to do it regularly, like often, right? If that makes sense. But also co-livings are amazing for sport, because you have like other people to motivate you to do exercise with, or you have like loads of the co-livings have yoga or fitness or whatever, which is really nice. Like when we were just staying in Airbnb by ourselves, like it was quite tough and you're in a new place and you're like, oh, I can't find what gym or whatever, or like, hiring a bike is hard or whatever. So that was often quite annoying and hard. I always tried to just do my own thing at home, but it's never the same. It's really nice to be able to go to a class or have like a regular teacher. Like I found now a teacher in Puerto for yoga that I go to all the time, and she's helped me loads with like improving my practice and stuff, which has been amazing. Which is something that when you're traveling a lot and go to all different random classes with random teachers, you don't get. So
well, I'm
happy about that.
Doing a sport is really part of your routine, but like super deep. Like for example, Herman, my boyfriend, my fiance. This is a super new. Bueno, I love saying my fiance. Like doing a sport, it's really part of his life now. That he told me, Silvia, now we are going to this trip on holidays. Do you think I would like to take my running shoes and because do you think I will have time? I was like, let's see. But because it's really part of it's like making coffee. For him, it's super, I don't know. I think it's important to
if you don't do it, you feel terrible if it's like part of your...
See, if it's part of it's like making coffee. I think.
So he does CrossFit. So CrossFit has these boxes everywhere. And actually, there's always a nice community. You just join it and just go for a session. Like, I think that's great.
I see it here. Many people who comes to Nine for a month, let's say, the first thing they are doing, it's looking for a gym. And they ask me, like, hey, Silvia, where do you recommend? I really like this. Bueno, now I go for Sarah. So change the spatula to her. Do you say spatula? Perfect. Okay, this is a bit weird question. Because before you started teaching yoga, as you said, she told me she had a completely different job in the UK in fashion, nothing to do what you are right now, who you are. But you were teaching English, but what I believe is like really teaching yoga was what allowed you to do this nomad life, as you said, right? But on the other hand, I think you do have this background on sport always in your life, that you are always really doing sports, no? You really like, I think you started cycling because of him, but you were running, you do have this, no? Whatever. What I see, especially since I am at Nine, many people use yoga as the excuse or the reason to be able to travel. Right? As you started, actually. Like you just said, I can teach surf, I can teach yoga to be able to travel. In my opinion, I think we miss some training behind people. Like when you're teaching a sport, it's really important you know how the body is, how... Right? Like, because of the way people can be hurt, you can hurt. How do you see this? Because there are many, like yoga is super fancy, it's super trendy. Right now, everyone wants to do yoga, but and many people wants to teach yoga, even though maybe they don't have this, I don't know, training or do you understand my question? Like, what do you think about this? Like,
what, just like anyone teaching anything without like a fitness background or without...
because you don't really have you didn't study sports, right? But I think you are very, I don't know.
I think, a lot of the trainings and stuff that are on offer, like, especially for yoga instructor, like, you only need to do, like, a few hundred hours and you're a qualified yoga. Yeah, exactly. No? So there's definitely, it's a money-making thing, right? Like, that's why they do it, because they just want to make money from people who want to be a yoga teacher, and I think it's, like, quite a common dream.
Okay, you got the point.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think leading yoga classes and stuff is a big responsibility for sure. And you should always be continuing your education, understand anatomy, understand like what can potentially go wrong, how you can help people. But I think maybe there should be more of a standard.
That's what I feel, especially because some people, it's really good by practicing yoga by their own, but then teaching, they don't really know how to adjust it to people. Especially if you're a beginner, you can really hurt yourself, like your knee, or like try to stretch too much.
For sure.
You were super careful with me. I remember at the beginning. I was like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know. Yeah.
I was super careful, or I wasn't.
You were.
I was. I thought you said you weren't super careful.
Yeah,
I was
no.
like, oh, sorry. But yeah, no, for sure. Like, I think as well, when you go to like, if you're a person that is attending classes in like a co-living or like in a hotel, I taught a lot of like hotels and blah blah blah, this kind of stuff. You also know that maybe, you know, you're just going to one class. You're not like, you're not going for, it's something people want to do just to enjoy on holiday, right? It's not like advanced. We're not going to like learn really hardcore stuff. And that's like obviously where your danger like of injury and this kind of stuff can be. And yeah, for sure, I was always making sure my classes are super beginner friendly and not like not pushing people to do stuff that like they shouldn't be doing when they don't have the experience. So yeah, like knowing about like the safety and stuff is really important. And
it's very important. That's what I feel.
yeah, I don't know how people who get like people to come and teach yoga at different places are deciding who's good and who's not. I don't know, but yeah, there is a lot of shit out there for sure.
There is a what?
A lot of shit, like with people just being like, yeah, I'm a yoga teacher. And,
yeah, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
It's, it's like wearing now the cycling glasses, you know, the one you have, now it's super trendy. And many people who even like don't even cycle, they wear it. It's like, no, but you wear it because you cycle. But you know, the glasses I mean. This posturing thing. Bueno, Sarah, next question. Let's go. What do you do when you travel? Do you sleep in the plane? Do you stretch? Like, do you do some yoga?
I normally always sleep.
I
Like,
always
literally,
sleep,
he's
too.
got probably a whole album of photos of
Me too.
me.
Like,
I'm
as soon
just
as I'm in the plane,
I can sleep anywhere. I have this special ability.
Me too.
You know, once I slept in a nightclub in Ibiza because I was just really tired because I don't know, we'd been up for 24 hours and I was really tired. And the bouncers were trying to throw me out because they thought I'd taken loads of drugs. I hadn't taken any drugs. I was just really tired. And my friends were like, no, she's just having a nap. Leave her alone. Like,
yeah.
whatever.
Once I went to a club as well and I was drinking. I mean, I was drunk, okay, but I was not that drunk. And I went to the bathroom because I wanted to throw up because alcohol, I realized, it doesn't make me feel good. But then I went just to throw up. Then I sit, I was like, final. And then I fall asleep. And then, because of course there was this queue in the bathroom, they were like, I was like, shit, I fall asleep. And my friends were looking for me. And
were you sitting on the toilet?
in the toilet.
Like on the toilet?
On the
like
toilet,
with your pants down? Like,
yeah. Yeah, so I can also sleep everywhere. Or in a party, like Herman and his friends, they are in the party. I was like, yeah, we are the same.
we are the same, yeah.
Last two for Sarah, and then we are gone. I was doing my research and I gossiped your Instagram, and I noticed that you're super sensitive to nature. Like in many pictures, you were like writing sentences about like nature. One of the sentences you wrote is, "Nothing gets me more riled than people thinking the nature is their property." And it was in the picture that someone was holding like a jellyfish.
You went far back, huh? You went deep.
No, I went super like. I am trying to be more professional for Johannes because he was in many podcasts. And yeah, I really share this as one of my values, as like the same with the sleeping. This is a bit deep. What are the values that for you are so important that determine even like a relationship with someone, like a friendship? Like, okay, if you are doing this, I just can't.
If you go to Loro Park, we can't be friends.
Yeah. Seriously, I also
I'm super anti Loro Park. No, I just think that like nature is a gift to us, right? And there's just so many things that we as humans do that without thinking, and we think that it's normal to like take whales from the ocean and put them in a tiny swimming pool, and like because like
go to dive
yeah, like trying to profit from the nature, which is something that we've just been so lucky to inherit, like as humans, is really, that makes me angry and upset. And of course, yeah, loads of the stuff with like pouring concrete all over this beautiful island and all of that stuff makes me super riled.
I learned this word.
You learned this word. And yeah, when it makes me also fume when I like go to the beach and I see people putting cigarettes on the floor. I often have a go at people for doing that, which I know is probably not my place, but I'm like, you know, small tiny things maybe make a difference, like, and like chucking litter and like just stuff that I'm just like, humans, come on, like what are you doing? Like this is our gift to share, and it doesn't belong to anyone. We're so lucky that we have it. Don't spoil it, and don't spoil it for other people as well.
I think in general it's people who doesn't know how to
empathetic.
Yeah, because you don't empathize with the nature, with other people, and you don't respect. That's also for me one of my values.
And like you saw, like I saw people like picking up starfish just for pictures for Instagram and stuff, and I was just like, what are you doing? Leave them alone. Leave the animals alone. Look, don't touch. Like, leave everything better than you found it when you go somewhere, and
you got
can all enjoy.
emotional.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the
It's also another reason why I'm vegan, right? So if you want, we can go into some vegan propaganda and
no.
because it's also for the environment and stuff. So yeah.
Last question for you, Sarah. Okay. If we think where you come from and where you are right now, and I don't mean about the obvious difference, like you were in the UK and now you're in Tenerife, but more like a spiritual, like who were you 15 years ago and who you are right now, what are the main difference? And apart from the pregnancy, like how, because since you're doing this life, you have evolved, right? That's very good. Some people stay the same, but we evolve.
I think 15 years ago I was not living my truth. I was doing what I thought
in fashion. No?
Yeah, I think I was just doing what I thought was like would make me successful. I was like, if I'm not, I remember thinking when I was like, I started working in fashion when I was 21, right? As soon as I finished studying, and I was like, if I'm not a director of like a big fashion brand by the time I'm 30, then like my life is over. That was like my goal, like, and if you'd have told me, no, actually, you're going to be like bumming around as a yoga teacher in South America, I would have been
barefoot.
Like, shut up, no shoes. I used to wear high heels every day. That's how it was when he met me, which is hilarious.
I don't know who is the person you are in love, like the other one, or
he saw through the facade, right?
That's a beautiful thing.
He saw the real. I mean, the essence was always there, but definitely. I was more materialistic, more like motivated by things that aren't meaningful, like not motivated by what I would say now are the right things. So I was motivated.
So now it's the real Sarah. Now you are very proud because you've really found yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I feel much more me. Yeah, for sure. And also like, I think one of the reasons that I love teaching yoga so much is because I love giving to other people and making them feel amazing, right? And that's one of the reasons like I do the yoga retreats, because I love like the transformation that you see of people coming from being like really stressed and really anxious, whatever, to just calming down, chilling out. And I forgot where I was going with this.
You're pregnant, you forget things.
Yeah.
And with a German guy, who have told you this.
Yeah.
I also saw this.
She knew that early on, I think, that she likes Germans. No?
I saw it also in an Instagram picture that you posted with Johannes, and you were laughing a lot, and you said something like, I don't know what, sometimes these German guys make jokes and make me fun.
once a year he does a joke.
Johannes, you take jokes about German people very good. And also you, right? I remember when I told you the
I was a drunk crying British.
The typical drunk. Sorry. Bueno, let's go to Johannes.
No pasa nada.
I don't want him to... Okay, Johannes, you're specialized, as I said, to help startups to grow. And I read on I said LinkedIn because I don't know how to say it. LinkedIn. You are a self-confessed marketing geek with a fetish for spreadsheets.
Oh, yeah.
I love this voice. Johannes, do you also make spreadsheets for your personal life?
Oh, good question. Yes, probably some of it.
I know you do.
I mean, for some aspects, but I'm not that bad, I would say. I mean, there are people who run their whole life and they're with their partner together, their whole family life on like Notion, and I'm like, it's a bit too much. Like, yeah, it was a joke.
I mean, I remember one day you asked Germán to go to help you to fix a few things in your house when you move in, and you had this list of things to do by who, and super organized, super. Sarah, do you live very well, like with to German sometimes, like with these spreadsheets or.
No, he's not too German. To be honest, I probably need it in my life because
that's it.
I'm a bit chaotic, so
that's true.
Quite a good balance.
So you do sometimes spreadsheets for your life.
Sometimes. Yeah.
I love it. I'm learning now more and more about the spreadsheets, and maybe just some advices, like some shortcuts, and I really like them.
Good, yeah.
I'm a bit German.
Is it a fetish already or not yet?
I don't know, Jeff. But I maybe. It's better than having the fetish with the feet. I don't know. Bueno.
We're not judging.
How would you like to see yourself? How would you like in 10 years? Professional and personal?
Great question.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start personal. So obviously I'm becoming a dad. We're becoming parents very soon. So hopefully be a great dad who has raised a daughter, maybe another child. I don't know. Let's see about that. Oh, that's recorded now.
If you're listening, good human being.
And probably, I think we'll still be living here. Maybe we'll have a bit more nature around us. Maybe we're gonna have a place with that. But let's see. Also, and professionally, I mean, for me as a founder, like my personal and professional life is very intertwined, I would say, in some way. I want to continue what I'm doing with our company, with me and my co-founder's company, Leedsy. Hopefully we're still going that would be great. And I mean, the most important thing is that I get joy from the work that I'm doing. I feel like it's meaningful. And that would be great. I also, on another side I want to do more is actually helping. So I'm doing some mentoring with startups, but also, I mean, basically teaching others, right? So I want to also get involved in helping people here on the Canary Islands to get into entrepreneurship, inspire them to do what I've done and many others are doing, because I think there's a big opportunity for especially young people or any age really to do that. They are already in the paradise. We came here because we love it, and that's something that I hopefully will have done then, and I'm doing at that point in 10 years for sure.
In 10 years, I will ask you again. Let's see. Johannes, your main hobbies, I think they are tennis and cycling, right?
I guess, yeah. On the sports side, yes. Yeah.
Sports side, yeah, I don't know. This question comes from Germán. What do you think about electric bikes? Is it really a sport? Is it mobility? Mobility, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. He told me, I was like, Germán, what can I ask Johannes about cycling or about tennis? And I don't know. He asked me this. I was like, okay, let's see what he says.
That's a fun question. Yeah, I mean, I think electric bikes are really great for certain people, especially elderly. So if they help older people to be active, because it helps them going up the mountains, which they normally cannot do, and which takes them much further on a nice, cycling tour. That I think that's amazing. I think that's really, really great.
Yeah, maybe on this island even.
Especially on this island here.
I like cycling more, but yeah, exactly.
I mean, here especially, right? There are always hills, and some of them are very, very brutal. So if it allows more people to be on a bike and be active, I think that's a good thing.
Do you like more, apart from the electric, like gravel, or you're more like road bike and that's it?
So I'm only doing road biking at the moment, but I want to get into gravel. So I've done a little bit of that in Germany, and I really love being in a forest or like in the nature, basically, where there's no cars honking behind you and no fumes, I definitely want to do more of that, and I think that's something that I will pursue.
The last few days he was like basically perving on gravel bikes, like, oh, should I buy this one? Oh, these really expensive gravel bikes. I was like, mate, he's having a midlife crisis. Like many people buy like cars and stuff, and he's like, oh, this bike, oh, and I was like, when are you gonna have time to do this?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, I'm living with her mom. What can I say? I understand. But for example, like a few months ago, me and her mom, we were biking with Cara in the back. So you will be able to bike again together, again with some adjustments. Yeah, we were in La Caldera, and we went from La Caldera to Chanajiga with the bike. Super beautiful. We had Engara was like faster, like some dance. It was super fun. You will be able to do it, and I think in the road too. But let's see.
It's nice in the nature also for kids for sure.
Super nice. So give just 1 year, and then you just need to wait until the baby can be sit, and that's it. Johannes, what are the basics when you travel? Apart from, I think, the Aeropress
Aeropress, yeah.
and the underwear. I don't know.
The underwear.
But I don't know, what do you think it's your must? I assume. Oh, 40 minutes. Okay, but we are almost done.
Okay, basics. I mean, I have a pretty basic setup to be able to work anywhere. So I have like a stand. It's called Roost, the Roost stand. I have a trackpad and I have an external keyboard. Some Apple headphones, AirPods Pro for noise isolation. That's also important.
Nothing weird? You don't travel with nothing like you said?
Yeah, let me think about a weird thing. Anything weird? No? I don't know. Do I have anything weird? So I'm pretty normal. I'm German.
You're German. Yeah, you're very
boring German dude.
Is it easy for you to pack? Like to put like this, and this? Yeah, very standard, no?
Try to be as minimalist as possible. Yeah.
Nice. We are done with you. Just the last question for the two of you, because I got this question: are you more productive in searching hours? Because maybe you I don't know if because you have meetings, maybe you do have to work in like the normal schedule, like from 8 to 2. I don't know. But maybe you have to be more creative sometimes. Do you think you're more creative, like, I don't know, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then in the evening, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely more creative in the morning, for sure. Like by the time the middle of the day is done, my creativity is like gone. So that's for boring tasks that don't require much brain power. But yeah, for being creative, it's definitely. I used to always wake up super early, like when I had to write stuff and be creative.
Not in the night,
no, but like 6 a.m. whatever. Like they were my like.
Yeah, in the morning.
Normally it's the morning.
You? Morning.
I think I have a second wave, like from maybe like 5 till 7 or something.
Oh, really?
Like in the evening. But I mean, yeah, afternoon after having some lunch or something is difficult. Morning, I'm productive in the morning, and I think.
But then life happens.
Yeah, very often, like I think I am, or we are not not protective enough of that time, and so then other things happen. And you're like, well, now I kind of wasted the time that I would have been most productive. So that's yeah.
Well, and the last question, that's the question. Because I think it's a thing lately everywhere, especially on this island, as you know, but everywhere. Digital nomads, a benefit or a burden for local communities. And I'm not talking about everything, just like traveling as digital nomads. What's your opinion? If you want, I can start briefly. I think traveling as digital nomad, I'm going to be super short. It's really sustainable, I would say. If, for example, you travel to co-livings, I think co-living is a really great alternative for this holiday, I don't know how you say, holiday properties or whatever, because then, of course, I think the government should always regulate this to protect locals. But digital nomads right now, it's everywhere, like it's affecting in many places, Lisbon, and you can see everywhere. And the other side, it really brings positive things to everyone. But yeah, what do you think? What's your opinion? Because I think you have an opinion. We all have, as a bat, we all have an opinion. What's your opinion?
I mean, I'm obviously very biased because I am a digital nomad, or was. I mean, I'm basically living here now. And specifically, the Canary Islands have some challenges. I think it can be I mean, it has a big chance to be very positive, like especially compared to other tourism, let's say. And the chance, I think, is that you can make it very integrated with the local community, right? So you can try to really kind of live like a local, meet local people, through language exchange, through learning local customs, local traditions. I don't know, like loads of things that, for example, are being done here. I think there's a lot of opportunity to combine the two and bring the two together, right? Like the locals and nomads, especially through co-livings. And also, of course, I mean, there are the facts of like digital nomads stay much longer in a place, so it's better for the environment as well. It's so that has positive sides. I mean, yeah. And did you also ask about the negative sides? Probably, right?
Burden.
So I would hope. I think I'm an optimist in the sense that I believe it has more positive sides than negative sides,
Vale.
especially compared to traditional tourism.
Yeah.
But I also acknowledge that there are challenges that come with it, and I think at the end of the day, it's the governments who have to help to regulate it in the right way, right?
Vale. Good reply.
Yeah. I also, of course there are some benefits, but then the burdens of driving up, like one of the most obvious ones, driving up prices for local people, shortage of places for local people to live, like these kind of things, I think need more regulation. And that's why co-livings are great, because they're not taking away places that local people would be able to live. And I think that, you can be a conscious digital nomad and be more sustainable in your choices in terms of like supporting local businesses and not going to like eat a Burger King or not going to visit like big tourist attractions that are damaging for the environment. You know, you can be more like find a local Spanish teacher that you're going to support. So in these micro like economic exchanges, I think you can definitely have a positive impact when you give back directly to people, to local people. But if you're going to be a digital nomad that's like, I don't know, staying at Selena somewhere and not bothered about finding out about the place where you live or you're staying. And I think it's just about knowing the impact that you have as an individual and thinking about what you can do to minimize that impact.
Thank you, Sarah. I agree. We also were discussing with Anne lately what we can do from Nine, right? Because I think also Nine has a big impact, and especially Anne, in many people. And I hope if you are still listening this, you think a little bit about this. And we thought maybe we have this frame with the house rules, maybe to create a frame with the island rules, and how to maybe create awareness of what you can do to be a positive impact on the island. So maybe, I don't know, buy local, go out and to support local businesses, be aware of the consumption of the water, things like that, to be a bit more aware, because the information is there, but sometimes I think digital nomads live in the bubble. They don't talk about dramas in the world, but they are everywhere because they are happy with their life. They are like, I'm traveling and do yoga and...
Yeah, like what do local people need that you can give them, right? Like how can you help somehow? Like, I don't know, whether that's...
Yeah, and this is a paradise, but let's see how we treat it. Yeah. Bueno, we are almost done. Let's go for these 9 rapid fires, and we're done. It's a bit longer because it's 2 people. Very interesting. Okay, do you want to stay sit or do you want to do a squat?
Do you want me to do a plank?
A plank, venga. Johannes, and if you want to do it without your t-shirt, no. No, it's okay. Just say...
I can do a squat.
Venga, squat.
You do a squat.
We start with Sarah, actually.
What? But you're going to ask all the questions to me?
First Sarah, and then we say Johannes, but you both...
You can't see on the camera anymore.
You can see it. You can see it. Yeah, but you both do it at the same time. So you...
do the plank now.
Venga, now start. Sarah, start. Yes. Sarah, yoga or Johannes?
Johannes.
Vinyasa or yin yoga?
Vinyasa.
Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Oh, that's a hard
Sarah?
one. Mountain.
Okay, Johannes, tennis or cycling?
Ooh, cycling.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Slow travel or visiting many places?
Slow travel.
Both. So I hold it. Let's see what you reply. Both. Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Ah, running or cycling?
Cycling.
Diarrhea or vomiting?
Diarrhea.
Yeah, we're done.
What?
Yeah, we finished.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I got into the conclusion. Sorry, this is for you. If you have a place to throw up, so either both, no, if you have to choose. If you have a toilet, it's better to have diarrhea. But imagine you're driving, you don't have a toilet, it's better to vomit.
True.
Vomit out the window.
It's just to, but in general, I prefer diarrhea, I think. Well, no, that's it. How did you feel?
Great.
Yeah,
Amazing.
was good.
Great
Yeah.
questions, babe.
I am in the standard of
Top.
La mejor.
Best
See?
level.
The best
Yeah,
one.
oh, claro.
yes. Bueno, thank you everyone for staying until the end, for sure. As I always say, if you like it, say it. If you don't like it, no, stay in silence. And I see you next time. ¿No? ¿Ya está?
Thank you.
Ciao. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for more unfiltered conversations. If you like this episode, make sure you give us a 5-star review and follow us on social media for more.